I think you could actually maybe make a pretty decent case to say that Alexander Blessin's maybe been one of the best head coaches in the Bundesliga this season. Not because St. Pauli have gone on to win a Pokal or they've done an Union Berlin and somehow managed to get into the top four, top six. But the manner in which he stepped into that job after they lost their head coach, which was obviously Fabian Hürzeler, who's moved on to Brighton, and he inherited a team that probably overperformed in the first place to get to the Bundesliga. A squad that was by no means prepared to get to the Bundesliga. They weren't a team that had this. It's not like they had like the biggest wage bill, the biggest squad, and it was like as a foregone conclusion that they would. So anyway, Hürzeler works miracles to get them to promotion. He then leaves, and they bring in Blessing, completely different head coach, completely different style of football, and he's somehow managed to turn it around, and he's done a tremendous job of it. I was just actually checking there to see what St. Pauli's record points total is in the Bundesliga, but I think the record was in 1996, which is when they had 38 points. Now, Blessing's sitting on 30 points with 4 games remaining, so he could technically beat that, which would be a really impressive feat, I think. They've done a great job of it, and to be fair to Blessing, I think he's done a great job of it by playing really hard defensive football. I was actually checking just before we came on air, and if you actually look at which clubs have conceded, which have the lowest shots against average in the Bundesliga, first it's Bayern, then it's Leverkusen, then it's Union Berlin, believe it or not. Then it's St. Pauli. And St. Pauli averaged fewer shots against each game this season than Borussia Dortmund, Leipzig, then Werder Bremen, Frankfurt, Gladbach, Stuttgart. All these really impressive clubs. Well, I guess Stuttgart, a hugely impressive club this season, but you know what I mean. And they've done a tremendous job at that. They keep things very, very tight, whether that's at home, whether that's away. Typically, they have preferred to kind of play away from home, which is what makes this point against Leverkusen all the more impressive, because they are better at playing counter-attacking football away from home. But obviously against this Leverkusen team, they can do that at home, and yeah, they got a point for it. The point is, St. Pauli deserved a point. They deserve to stay in the league. They've done a great job of it, and I think Blessing deserves a huge amount of credit for that.